Hey Spuddies, PotatoMcWhiskey here, and welcome back to Civilization 6 as Japan, where we were working on killing Greece and also just generally trying to get our economy going. We have an awful lot of tiles that just haven't been improved, things that are just outside of our city's borders, right? There's a little bit of fish around here. There's also a couple of islands over here that could be settled. I don't know if it's really worth settling these outside of maybe getting access to luxuries that I otherwise wouldn't have access to. Like there's 3 copies of wine over here, as well as a copy of diamonds. That alone probably makes it worth it to settle over here. So that's what I'm gonna work on. I feel like I'm also, oh my God, I never built a monument or a granary in here. Jesus, monument, granary, that'll help that city grow. I feel like, oh, I placed an industrial zone too early. I forgot that this was the +3 only challenge. Well, as penance, I won't use this city for Liang anymore. And instead, I will build the aqueduct and the dam first. Okay, a little bit of a misclick. Listen, I made one mistake, okay? It's still gonna be like a +8 industrial zone. I just need to actually build the aqueduct and the dam first. So I will, as penance, this city will have to do that. When really what I want to be building there is builders, because I have so much improvable terrain, which kind of sucks now that Liang is locked in there. I feel it would be unfair to move Liang. I can maybe purchase builders from that city. I do have to do some sort of penance for making that error. I actually forgot momentarily, and I just went into autopilot, that this was the high adjacency only game. Just for a brief moment, it kind of slipped my mind. But yeah, over in Tokyo, we have completed the barracks. We could go for an armory. We also have access to potentially other kinds of districts. We could get an industrial zone in here. Do I want an industrial zone? Maybe I would just be better off building the armory. The armory will give me an extra 3 production in here, and that does seem relatively okay. I could also opt to continue to build these things. However, I would really like a little bit more passive great general generation. I think a couple of extra points does work in my favor. Right, so it's time for the city of Athens to meet its maker. Are there any of my units that are close to a level up? Let's have a look. I think I would like to level up my caravel and level up my caravel, and then we will do a little bit of a damage to this encampment because we can farm a bit of XP off of it while we move the rest of our troops around. So we got rid of that encampment. It took us a little bit of health, but it was killed in the end. And we have to bring the battering ram over to Knossos now. But otherwise, this was a fairly successful thing. We just have to, get stuff into position. Oh, I thought this was a caravel, not a thingamadoodle. I think there's another city in here. But we are going to keep this one. And I will grab Victor and pop him into the city of Athens. Now, the loyalty in here is going to be bad. It's almost certainly going to flip independent, but that's okay. Once we break the other couple of cities around here, it'll be fine. And we'll have total control. There we go. We have completed nationalism and we're into the next era. So we can plug in Grand Army as well as national identity. However, I think the majority of this turn is going to be combining units together to increase the efficiency of my army. Now, unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how you look at it, there is a little bit of an awkward little bit of combination. There we go, right? That's 1 unit combined. You move here. We'll combine these 2 frigates together. You move here. Grab that frigate for me. I only have 1 privateer, so I won't be able to do any combination there, but I can combine these 2. And I think, while I do lower the total number of units that I have, I definitely increase the power level of my army. There's a 4 promoted. Ooh, Sparta actually has no walls. So we might be able to do something with the samurai there. So the number of my units engaged in conflict has gone down quite a bit, but the power of these units has gone up. These are 75 combat strength samurai cores now. Out of curiosity, can I still get samurai? I could. So if I were to get another samurai, I could combine that with him. I could also theoretically pillage this industrial zone for a bit of science, which would get me 1 turn closer to steam power. So I will go ahead and do that. Move this caravel to here. Then you go here and grab that caravel. Combine them together. Excellent. What else do we have here? So we just got nationalism. The next big step for a military game would be mobilization. Is there anything kind of on the way there? I do think colonial taxes can be really good in a game like this, so I will stop off for colonial taxes. We got our library in here. We want our coal power plant. We have a golden age secured, so we don't need the coal power plant before the era ticks over. So I could just hard build it. This is a 9 production power plant though. That's a lot of money, or that's a lot of production rather. So I'm going to sell off all of my luxuries and then go ahead and buy a coal power plant in this city, because that's a 9 production power plant. That's a huge boost. Plus, I believe if I go in here, this industrial zone, the factory will produce 5 more production for all the nearby cities. So this is actually a fairly large production boost. You can see here, this city goes from making 22 production. Could you perhaps update? I guess the power hasn't yet kicked in because I don't actually have access to the coal. That's right. Where was the coal that I had? I swear I had it. There it was. Yeah, I had a builder on the way over here. So it'll take him a few more turns to go ahead and turn that on. So we won't benefit from the power part for a while. Now, again, looking at the city of Kyoto, might it be good to grab the intelligence agency? I also just generally need a couple of spies here. Where is Victor? Because if I were able to promote Victor with Embrasure and put him into the capital, that would mean my spies are spawning with +1 level. So I think that's what we're going to do. Even if Victor is quite useful for loyalty in the conquering side of things. Oh, there's more settlers down here. Settlers free for the taking and builders. It looks like the Maori, now we know where all their cities went. They've been taken by the Barbs. Well, it's a free city for me, so I will go ahead and claim that for myself. Right, so we do have steam power now. We have access to the ironclad as well as railroads. Now, I'm not sure railroads will be as useful as the ironclad, but the +2 movement for embarked units will be dead handy. I think the next goal is to pick up electricity because the seaport represents a big step forward in my naval production. And also just generally getting more I need to get more trade routes out of it. I'm sitting a little bit too low on the trade route front. Right, there's that barb camp cleared, and we've got a couple of caravels in position to reclaim those civilian units. There's a lot of civilian units down here, actually, quite a few. A surprising number of civilian units. Do you know, the nice thing about researching colonialism is that fishing boats will actually get +1 production as well. So that's quite nice. All right, frigate, step forward and blast that city. You step forward a single tile. You step forward here. You combine with him. Unlink the battering ram and walk it as far forward as possible. You go there. You step onto that tile. Do we want to go to Knossos first? We probably do. And I'll need to pay cash, ideally for another samurai. Could use a frigate on the front line too. But I'll use a samurai to provide the garrison. Yeah, look at that. We're well positioned for a war. We're a very small number of units, but a very high combat strength of units. Battering ram in position. And then in comes the old samurai. Boom, boom. Big damage. These cities are falling insanely quickly. I'm actually really happy about that. I'm pretty sure these might actually be like 3 of the only 4 cities that Athens has. I think otherwise they've lost all their other cities to other players. Just about can't kill Knossos this turn. Not to worry. We'll get 1 extra little farm pillage in for 50 gold. The beautiful advantage of a privateer. A private ear. Mercantilism. The camp provides +1 production and food. We've also got the privateer. And drill manuals, triangular trade, all that stuff. One of our cities did flip independent, but who asked? Certainly, it wasn't me. Can we kill this city? Oh, Sparta! You have fallen. We're in a golden age. I think we take 2 arms here because we're going to be going to war. 15% production towards military is not so important as the 75% reduced grievances. Now, here's the moment of truth. Is there access to Corinth from this sea? There we go. That's what we like to see. Capiche? Yeah, see? What I love about free cities is that they, when my cities flip independent because, you know, I don't have enough loyalty or whatever, they're weak enough for me to take them back with just caravels. So, let's grab our good friend Victor and just drop him into Sparta for now. Then once we have Corinth, the loyalty problem here should be dealt with. Actually, out of curiosity, are you at war with Mali? You are at war with Mali. Ah, okay. Takamatsu has finished a university. It's got a campus, it's got a harbour, it's got a commercial hub. The production of a pre-building of a navy for the attack on Babylon would be quite handy. To just have a couple of frigates laying about. You could make an argument. You could make an argument that it's a good thing to do. and to do it soon. On the other hand, we do have room for another district here. We could get a +3 industrial zone. That seems like a bit of a waste. We could also build an entertainment complex, and you know what? An entertainment complex, when we're making our way towards natural history, getting a zoo right about now in this area would really clear up a lot of amenity issues. So I tells you what, we will go ahead and get ourselves an entertainment complex. I know it's in an awkward spot. It doesn't matter. It'll still give +1 to these delightful campuses. More importantly, it'll give me some extra amenities to play with. That is the important thing there. Now, there was a city that I was meant to... this is it. Machu was missing its shipyard, and it's a +8 shipyard as well, so that's a great one. So I need to reserve my gold for building my shipyards. That's going to kind of be what we're occupied with for a little while. Here we go. Grab that settler. Yeah, I need to get those cities settled up in the north for the luxuries, but I just don't know if it's going to happen anytime soon. Let's get the battering ram into position. Oh, these are medieval walls, so the battering ram doesn't actually do anything. That's a little bit unfortunate. Right. The cute thing here is we can attack with this guy, then combine him, and then come in and attack with this guy. Perfect. So now we've got a nice little bit of a loyalty muscle over here. And the domination is going quite well. One might say it's going swimmingly. Jesus, these are crap cities. Why are they so bad? How are they built? How does the AI manage to just have such terrible cities? Honestly, I feel like if you just increase the AI's probability of building builders, I feel like the quality of their empires would go up massively. Just like if 1 in 5 things that they built was a builder. I can't believe I just chopped that tile when I was meant to improve it. I'm actually a moron. As I'm trashing the AI, I make an absolutely devastating mistake where I waste the only build charge on a builder who is going to give me my only access to coal this game. I am a different kind. I'm a different breed, okay? I'm a different breed. I suppose we can settle a city here. That's fine. We do get access to the salt, which is grand. We can claim a great person. Looks like it is Ferdinand Magellan. So what does he do? He grants 1 free copy of a luxury resource on this tile to your capital city. Can't imagine this will be tremendously useful because I don't think there's a whole lot of coastal luxuries that I don't already have. I need to go back to playing with Sucrotact's Oceans. What a great mod. Sure, why don't you go get me some pearls, Magellan? You did fine. Harvest this bad boy. That'll instantly finish the entertainment complex, which should bring the city up to slightly higher amenities, or at least the city will, at the very least, it'll lower the pressure on amenities in my empire. This is worth 3 amenities in this city, and you can see the city is using 5. So this will take care of the vast majority of the amenities, especially if I combine it with a governor and then eventually a zoo. Now, this zoo won't hit a lot of my cities. Like, if we're going to be totally honest with you, this is like a bare minimum zoo that hits 4 cities. That's pretty bad. But I didn't have a zoo before I placed it. And so in that way, it's a really damn good zoo. Finally, I will improve the coal. There we go. It's a 5 production tile. Nice little coal tile. And I reckon this city is as good as any here. It's got access to a mine. It's got access to plentiful fish. And we can go ahead and place a nice +5 harbour right there. I do need to be careful about how quickly I kill this city. Because I want to make sure that I can get the final hit on it, essentially. So I'll have to wait a little bit for more supporting forces. I am, however, officially a tech and culture lead now. It's only a matter of time before I actually take the dominant position on the scoreboard. That's just a matter of A, the AI is probably researching cheaper technologies than me, and B, has probably simply just had more science than me for a longer period of time. So they've been able to accumulate more science in more things. So we wanted to promote you with Embrasure, and then we're going to reassign you to Kyoto, and then we'll assign Magnus to a city that's having loyalty problems like Knossos. So theoretically, with Victor established in this city, every spy that we get will now start with +1 level, which I guess saves a lot of time on leveling spies. This spy is going to go to Niani to see if he can get a few spy steals off on their gold stockpile. Okay, we're doing good damage here, but we won't be able to get the kills. We'll just hold off, because I don't want this city to get stolen by Mali. That'll be the end of the world. Well, maybe I'm being a little bit dramatic there, but it would be annoying It would be annoying. And god damn it, if that isn't the end of the world, I don't know what is. I could also just declare war on Mali and be like, listen, bruh, get the hell out of my way. Kill all his units, break his army, ruin his day. Although, to be fair, units are twice as cheap to buy with gold right now. So maybe we'll just give him a moment to have a little think about that before we decide to antagonize the Golden Bear. Not to be confused with the Golden Bull. It's an entirely different thing. Right, lovely. Now we've unlocked colonialism, so we can theoretically plug in colonial taxes once we actually have substantial foreign holdings. Vassal banking also doesn't seem so bad to me right now because I am trading primarily with my ally. The city of Tokyo has completed an armory. And it's leaving me with questions like, what the hell should I build in here? Do you know what I'm missing? I'm missing a Diplo quarter. So let's just quickly grab a Diplo quarter. I usually don't delay my Diplo quarter quite so much. I don't want to be Suzerain of Anshan. Now, I need to think about... I'm going to war with Mansa Musa. So actually, having the Gazargamu would be quite good for me because it would make purchasing units cheaper. And I need to take that away from Mali. Otherwise, he's just going to be pooping out units every turn with gold. So I'm going to fight for Nagaz Garmu. And I'm even going to scroll back in the tech tree to see if there's any free envoys. Like, for example, I might prioritize grabbing Opera and Ballet for the 2 envoys there and then Scorched Earth. Also, I haven't been checking the city-state missions. Looks like Train a Swordsman is one of them. I do have Swordsman unlocked, right? I do, but I can't actually train a Swordsman. Just kind of an annoying instance of the game being a jerk there. I have a mission that I can't actually perform, although Ironclad is doable. Building a preserve might be possible. Eureka for ballistics, that's fairly straightforward. I think that's like a field cannon one, right? Have 2 forts inside your territory. That should be very doable. Eureka for economics, I'm not sure what that one is. That's to build 2 banks, so yeah, we will be able to do that one. Not too difficult, although actually I don't have that many. Actually, that one would be quite tough. I definitely feel like I could do preserve, Ironclad, and ballistics. They should be fairly straightforward. In fact, I can do ballistics right now by grabbing myself a military engineer and building a couple of forts. And you know what? I might just grab 2 military engineers and grab myself 1 fort with each and then use the rest of their capacity to make railroads. This is what I was looking for. Now the city looks very takeable. Which of these guys would level up? This guy's at 117 out of 150 experience. This guy's at 69 out of 90. So he would level up first. We will grab that city. See you later, Greece. You will not stand the test of time. We will keep that city. And now we have to make a choice about how we are going to approach the Malians. I do think that Mali is the next most logical choice. It gives me an in onto this continent. And it also gives me a position on Byzantium, who is rather large, actually. Byzantium is quite huge, although his cities aren't particularly strong. He's not doing too well technologically. I really do feel like the AI just rolled really low on their skills this game. Like, this is deity difficulty, and I was able to pull off a samurai push, which I've never been able to do before. So maybe this map was just like extremely in my favor and extremely out of favor of the AI, because I don't feel like I earned this. Like, I don't feel like I was challenged by this game. Which is unusual because usually when I try to do something like this, I encounter at least some difficulty. I wonder, are samurai still cheaper? Maybe if I were to just grab 1 extra samurai. Yeah, let's grab 1 extra samurai. Is Valletta in the game? Valletta is in the game, but I'm not Suzerain of them, so I can't faith by walls, which would be the perfect application to protect my cities. We'll have to see what Mansa Musa does here. It looks like he's gearing up for a bit of combat. Joint war against Basel. I don't want to go to war with Basel just yet. That is in the cards, it's just not right now. I do want trade routes going to Hammurabi to be improved. I don't particularly care what gets boosted. Right, Mansa Musa was the target, which is unfortunate because I'm going to be killing him. Beautiful, we got our barracks in Opango, and I do not think that universities are particularly important to me right now, so I will go for the armory first, mainly for that great general point. Great general points are just really valuable to me. Like, +1 great general point is a 25% increase in my empire, so that just seems quite good. I don't need a Renaissance era great general, so we can just kind of leave that where it is. I need a little bit more knowledge. Oh wow, there's like a chunk of land over here that nobody claimed. The city of Rhodes should be fairly vulnerable. There's a settler in it as well. Right. Where are we ready to buy any shipyards? Let's have a little bit of a look around. This is the old tab until you see a building you need to buy method. Oh, there's a shipyard here in Sparta. We will go ahead and buy that because that's going to be a huge boost to a frontline city. That'll be getting repaired. Our troops are merely passing by Mali, which is a lie. Oh, you had a natural wonder, you saucy little minx, you. How dare you conceal this from me? Now, when do we declare war? I think we denounce him first. And then I think we Golden Age war him next turn. Rightio, let us begin. Pack it up, pack it in. Mansa, Mr. Mansa Musa. Mansa Musa. You are dead. Now, there is a little bit of strategy here. We want to keep the battering ram alive, so let's put that on the front line. You come forward. You go there. You're there. What can we kill? I can step in here, yoink that, step back. That'll bait him into claiming back that builder, wasting the turn on that guy stepping into my Zoc. We come forward. We blast the city. Step in. Step in. Step in. 1, 2, 3 for a triple tap victory. We could liberate it or we can keep it. I'm going to keep it because that's the kind of guy that I am. Now we have roads but no monument. Are you kidding me? Okay, we'll buy the monument because that should buy us a little bit of loyalty time. I don't think... Oh, there are some coastal cities that we could take advantage. This caravel might actually be dead because of his positioning. His very, very bad positioning that I had absolutely nothing to do with. Absolutely nothing. I did not position that caravel. So we're going to kill these Mandakalu cavalry. We did come out on top by about 6 damage there. This time we should come out much larger on top. There we go, 24 damage on top. We attack this musketeer, the old musketeer. And then the nice thing is we can blast this guy and step in and then give him the old what for. We have our first ironclad, although I'm not sure I was meant to have an ironclad right now. Also, I was meant to build the Venetian arsenal and I kind of forgot. It'll happen. Might just take me a minute. Might just take me a little bit. Let's get that ironclad over here. Man, that's going to take a long time. Reinforcement times here are quite high. Is it even worth it then to send that ironclad here? It's going to take 9 turns. Yeah, 1 ironclad is great. If I can grab the settler, I could settle another city down here and provide myself with even more loyalty adjacency. Oh my god, this place's shipyard got pillaged. How long ago has that been pillaged? Ah, yes, the things, you look away from a city for 5 minutes and things just go absolutely chaotic. I swear to god, they're like quarreling children. Boop, boop. Grab ourselves a nice crab tile for the city of Otsu. Opera and ballet is completed. We were doing that for the envoy so we could try to fight for Nagazgarmu. And we did, in fact, take Nagazgarmu from the hands of the Malians. So if I were to pop in, let's just take an example city of Tokyo. Samurai are 380 gold. That's a 40% discount. That's not too bad. I really do wonder, actually, if the discounts from the World Congress and the discount from Nagazgarmu, do they stack? It's an important question. I will be purchasing units to support this war effort, because I'm feeling like I need just a little bit of extra juice. So let's begin blasting Gao. We can step in. We can pillage. Have a little, discretion with our privateer. Explore around, look for things to pillage. Lots of pillageable things in the area. We did get an arena, which has taken Takamatsu to a more neutral happiness place. And my empire is struggling a little bit with happiness, which kind of makes me want to prioritize natural history. Even if it means slightly delaying mobilization, I think that's worthwhile. So what are we lacking over here? We could honestly use 1, 2, 3, 4. We could honestly use a whole... You know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to go through and buy scouts for all my cities. I don't know how much longer retainers will last. It's not that much longer. I'm not going to buy many more scouts. That's enough scouts. So this spy has spawned with a promotion, I might add, which is the beautiful thing of having Victor established in the place where you're building your spies. I'm going to take Disguise. Disguise is one of the best promotions for a spy to start with. It's actually goated. It's goated with the sauce. It's a quirked out white boy. You mother bitch. How dare you? Well, he can have that island. That one I don't care about too much. So we definitely need to kill the Mandakalu cavalry. If we cross the river... Can't cross the river. What if we killed here? Can you cross that river and attack and steal the settler? Oh, that's amazing. Absolutely god tier. Probably not much value in attacking. Okay, there's a little bit of a counterattack happening here, actually. A very spicy little counterattack. We do now have access to electricity, so we can get our seaports. This is going to be a huge gold influx as we start to build our seaports. I don't think seaports are a major priority for me, though. The city of Gao is a major priority, though. We'll slowly chip away at it. I want you to survive. You do have a promotion. So if I were to take urban warfare... Honestly, movement is just so good on these units. And if I play defensively, I don't think there's much that can be done to stop me. With the exception of you, because you're in a flanking position. I still think if you're on like opposite sides of a unit, you should do like a little bit of extra damage. Just like an extra 1 combat strength, okay? I'll take +1. So we want to get to flight now. Flight and radio and advanced flight. That's basically our beeline. But there's a few stopping off points first. We want to get banking. And I believe there was another place that we wanted to go off. We wanted to go for banking for economics. Oh, and we already got the Eureka for ballistics on tap. So yeah, we're fine. We just continue as is. The question, right? The city of Nagano has finished an industrial zone. And it's honestly not a bad industrial zone, right? It's a +8. That is a respectable industrial zone. We could go straight for the coal power plant. That would use up more coal, which is a bit of a problem because I don't have a whole lot of it. Or I could just go for the workshop into oil power plant. I definitely would like... Wait. Yeah, we have electricity, so that's good. So we should be producing an extra 4 culture in my capital city from the electronics factory, which is quite nice. That extra little bit of culture helps. Although I think Nan Madol is doing the majority of the lifting, heavy lifting of my culture. If I were to go around and like do a survey of how much culture Nan Madol is giving me, it's kind of nutty. Like 8 from districts. Ugh, just crazy. Yeah. So if we take a look at the city, right, it's working 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's working 6 coastal tiles. It's at 9 out of 15 population. This would give it an extra +2 food. It would also give this city an extra 2 gold on all tiles. This represents like a 10 to 12 gold increase as well as a +2 food increase, which would mean that it would grow more to work more tiles. So this building significantly accelerates the rate at which this city grows and therefore earns gold. So this is a very much so a strong gold acceleration building. I do think actually a hydroelectric dam would be quite nice later on, but I think we're going to go ahead and prioritize the seaport. I'll go library into seaport here. It's a little bit of extra science. A minor defeat against a trebuchet by a samurai. That is an interesting loss. I suppose it is a samurai. It's a fairly low quality samurai compared to some of these bad boys. Like this guy's got coastal, he's got like a higher base. So we shall step you there. We'll go ahead and purchase ourselves another samurai. You hopefully will tank a hit or 2 for me. And Bob's your uncle. Have we figured out the Bob's your uncle thing, by the way? Did we get any comments on that one? Let's go ahead and do a listening post in Niani. This will actually give me +3 combat strength, which will be very helpful. So that should, depending on how the math works out, it should prevent them from getting a +3 bonus, or it'll give me a +3 bonus, depending on their current level of diplomatic visibility with me. My trade routes to Babylon used to be so much better. I don't know what's going on there. It's a little weird. A little bit sus, you might say. The Persian city of Sus. It's kind of sad that I'm killing Mansa Musa, because Mr. Mansa Musa is worth so much money. God, he's worth a lot of money. When you're stealing from him, specifically, is what I mean. He's worth a lot of cash. A little bit of a counterattack happening here or there. Nothing I don't think I can handle. Now this BS that's going on here, that's a little bit too much for me. There's a lot of caravels there. I feel like I need to get this frigate over into the fray. I could also use more frigates in general. So we kill that Mandakalu. How much is it to buy a samurai? I can't believe samurai are still relevant. My mind is blown that I'm still using samurai, and like I'm considering like buying samurai as like a good investment of my money. Like on turn, what is it now? Turn 183, and I'm still making samurai. And like they're doing work. That's the other half of this insanity. Okay, city of Fukuoka, we will go for a library, then an amphitheater, then we will go for a seaport. I don't think I have room. I do have room for districts, but I don't think I need to put districts here. This city might get a water park or something. We'll see. More traders are completed. Can I still fit more? I will get another trader, and then I will go for the harbour in here. This is another great candidate for another trader in here, rather. This is another great candidate for a seaport, by the way. The electronics factory, by the way, is giving me just massive work. 8 production from the electronics factory. But every time the city grows a pop, it will work a tile that will be 2 food, 1 production, and 3 gold, which makes the seaport super valuable and also sets it up for late game military naval production, especially if I can get the Venetian arsenal started over in Osaka, which is currently undergoing purgatory, when I would much rather be building builders there. Although now I'm kind of happy that I'm going for the god tier, S tier, giga tier wonder that is the Venetian arsenal. There's a +4 harbour down there in that city. Confirmation. Boom. +4. I think the city of Mitla is at war with me, which is moderately perturbing. Go, 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 go. So I'd like the city of Gao to fall. Could you swap? You could almost take it. Block that reinforcement. Block that reinforcement. You're not ready for promotion, but if I do get a kill, you would be a step closer. That's always worthwhile. Yoink. Okay, so the city of Timbuktu is now too strong for my samurai, this is the point where I was expecting samurai to maybe fall off a little bit. So I'm going to have to come up with a new plan to break Timbuktu, and it's almost certainly going to involve using frigate fleets, blasting the city. Now, the best place for me to produce those frigate fleets will be in the city of Corinth. When it finishes its harbour, I will be looking to save cash and massively expand. Well, yeah, that should work just fine. Unfortunately, the samurai gravy train is over, and we will not be able to break further cities with them. Maybe a siege to... the amount of counter damage we're taking is just a little bit too high. But I mean, we got amazing value out of these samurai. I don't think I've seen... Oh, man, Jotaro, you're breaking my balls here, man. You're breaking my balls. This frigate's going to have to go the long way around and take 7 turns instead of like the easy 3 or 4 it would have been. Hirohito, I would like you to gain sources in the city of the Incan Cusco, and then start blasting districts and doing missions to level up. Ideally, you want to do spying with a spy who is highly leveled up, because the success rate and impact of certain missions is increased if the spy is a higher level. So generally speaking, higher level spies are better. It's like it's kind of weird that like having a higher level unit isn't necessarily better, but having a higher level spy is almost always better. Right, there's natural history giving us access to a zoo, and that is a zoo that I really, really want here in the city of Takamatsu. So I'm going to prioritize that there. Technologically, we have managed to pick up banking, although I don't think we have enough commercial hubs without conquering Mansa Musa, who does have those buildings. Might be able to get the repairs in. And the city of Gao will die. We might not be able to hold it for very long, but it is important that we've taken away some of his gold and his production. And I'm wondering, do I have any highly leveled... I'm going to level up an ironclad here. There we go. Ironclad fleet. This guy's almost leveled up. That'll be my second ironclad. Won't be using any more. I cannot afford any more. Probably should have built a lot more frigates. Hindsight 2020. We're going to head straight to flight. These airplanes won't build themselves. We're also heading straight to mobilization so we can combine more units together. Machu's got its shipyard. Probably build a campus in here. Also, it wouldn't be bad to build an encampment. Although that said, this city is premier. The city overlap actually isn't that good. It's still a premier location for something like a industrial zone, or yeah, let's do an aqueduct there, and then we'll do an industrial zone there. We'll swap that tile. Right now that tile isn't very good, but if I go ahead and build the aqueduct and the campus, I should be safe to put an industrial zone on that tile. The city of Osaka has finished an industrial zone. I think we go straight for the Venetian arsenal, because that has huge implications for our late game. If we could secure the Venetian arsenal, that's a 100% success rate. Now, I mean, our success rate is already 100% here. We're going to win this game. In fact, I'm fairly confident. You could probably like poll the comment section and be like, do you think I won this game? And the vast majority of people would say yes. But we are not about just declaring ourselves the winner. We only ever do that if the game, if I run at a time of a live stream where the game is particularly boring. How would you guys feel about me revisiting the A to Z challenge? Would that be a fun thing to do? Do you think? I think there is demand for it. And so we may revisit the idea. It's been a long time coming. There's quite a few things I've been meaning to get done, and maybe this time I'll get them done, Copium. Civil engineering is finished. We're going to go ahead and plug in public works. I don't have any reason to change anything here, except maybe press gangs. I could probably almost certainly plug in craftsmen for the extra industrial zone adjacency, because I'm not really building any boats, and I won't be building any boats for a little while. Veterancy would also be amazing, but I don't have the room for it. Retainers is about to go away, so maybe I can lose those amenities. I mean, look at this. I'm on 21. Yeah, 4 cities went down by 10%. You know, I think we'll accept that slight debuff in exchange for building our harbours faster. Right. So, the city of Patna has finished a university. It's ready for its harbour. There's a +5 harbour. Let's get that slapped down. It'll build it 30% faster. The interesting thing about a 30% speed boost is that it means you complete things 23% faster due to the way the math works out. So, but the human brain is kind of a finicky thing, because I guarantee you, if I had asked you guys how much faster or how many less turns do you build things with a 30% speed boost, a lot of people would just say 30%, because they think, oh, if I'm building it 30% faster, that means it's done in 30% less turns. But that's not actually how it works. It's just a quirk of the way the math works. And that's why it's actually quite important, because things like a 50% production bonus, they don't have the number of turns it takes to build something. They divide it by 2/3. You build things 1/3 faster, because what matters is the ratio. Or it's not the ratio. It's like, what is it again? But like in the human mind, a 50% speed, like if you're building something 50% faster, oh, you're building that twice as fast, right? Because that's how people feel about it, I think. But you're actually building it 1/3 as faster. And we could probably do a little bit of a maths and stats section one time in our videos. But those little quirks of the game are the kind of things that excite me and interest me. I like those. The city of Gao flipped independent, but I don't particularly care, because I wasn't trying to hold it long term. Just by having it be independent and rebelling, that's like, I've done damage, you know, like, haha, Mali is hurt by this action. And so it kind of helps me. I would like to purchase some frigates, but I want to buy them in Sendai. Ooh, actually, maybe I want some submarines. So here's the thing. Frigates are 55 combat strength. Okay, that range. Submarines are 75. So that's a 20 combat strength increase. That's actually more than 100% more powerful. That is more than 100% powerful. The way the math works out, it's fairly simple. Basically, I think it's +7 combat strength is 50% more damage. Or maybe it's +10 or +7 is 50% more damage. +17 is double damage, relatively. So like if those units were to hit each other, one of them would do double damage and the other would do half. So in terms of outcomes, it's actually a much larger distribution. Oh, I'm out of coal. Oops. Any coal sellers? I'll buy your luxuries. No one has coal. God damn it. We did get another spy with another promotion. Linguist is okay. I'll take Linguist. Linguist is an acceptable mission. Perhaps we could lessen our coal burden by getting a hydroelectric dam in the city. That is exactly what I will do. What is our consumption, actually? What is even using power? The factory is the only thing using power right now. So if I build a hydroelectric dam, it won't consume power. Bingo bango. Bob's your uncle. We're in good shape. I don't know where I got like phrases like bingo bango from. I think I just made that shit up. Or I heard it said like once, and I was just like, I apply this to everything in my life now. I'm like people who heard of NFTs and crypto. And I just built my life around a simple phrase. Or it's like people who have like a pet project, like an infrastructure project, like trains will save the world. Or, you know, tunnels. We need underground car tunnels. Bro, can we... I'm gonna go off on cars again. Can we stop building cars? Can we just... Like nobody in a city needs a car, okay? We need to stop building cities around cars and start building them around public transport. The amount of wasted fuel, CO2, everything that we put into the atmosphere just because we have like an international obsession with cars. I was in America, man. Holy shit, there was a highway going through the center of the city. It was like a mega structure from Stellaris. It was insane. The concrete pillars were hundreds of feet high. hundreds of feet of concrete. Do you know that same infrastructure dedicated to a train could move thousands and thousands and thousands of people for way less fuel? We need more trains. We need, not just trains, we need good trains, okay? Cars are fine, okay? But I don't think you should, like, a lot of people, when they hear me go off on this, they're like, what do you mean? You need a city to live in my city. Or you need a car to live in my city. That's not what I'm saying. I'm making a prescription, okay? I'm saying you shouldn't need a car to live in your city. Okay, we should design society in a way that you don't need one, because it's wasteful and inefficient, and there's better ways to do things, man. I don't hate cars, okay? I just recognize the reality that it's an unsustainable thing. Now, you live outside the city, you need a car. You need a car. We don't have good rail, okay? But I think we can get rid of cars for the most part in inner cities and replace them with just like buses and taxis. I genuinely think it would be a better world that we would live in. Any based train lovers in chat? But I tell you what, after killing Greece and making a mackerel of Mali, I'm going to go ahead and love you and leave you. I love you all very much, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.